Well, understandably, Ashok, the emotions are running high, because the videos have really shaken everybody up, forced the Supreme Court to take suo motu cognizance. The Prime Minister has issued a statement in this regard. It has led to a lot of, political, taking political pot shot as well. We are joined by, Thangemlal Dongal, who continues with us. Dr. Brijesh also continues with us. Hasina has joined us, and also Professor Prasenjit Biswas, who is Professor of Philosophy, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, who has joined us. All of you welcome to News9 Live. Professor Prasenjit Biswas, first I'll come to you. Sir, you saw those, must have seen that video, and you must have seen the kind of reaction it has generated, across the country. People are shocked and aghast. What do you have to say on that, sir? What's your take on that video, sir, and subsequent actions?
It's a kind of an orchestrated act of violence. I must underline this thing, how it has happened. And this is born through, or this is created through a kind of toxic hatred and a kind of helplessness and vulnerability and precarity through which communities are undergoing. I would say that victimhood is on both sides and not just on one side. But the incidence of rapes that has happened since May 4th, some of it is publicized, others are not publicized. Each of these gory incidents, each of this kind of a mob attack on the dignity of women puts our head in shame. I fully agree with Supriya Srinath, that full action, whatever is legally possible, whatever will restore the respect and the dignity of women in Manipur. And Manipur being a state led by the women, you have Apunba Lup on the one hand, you have Kuki Inpi on the other hand. Powerful, groups led by women agitators and activists who have established a kind of respect unique in the entire Indian society, and this should not go as unaddressed. This should not go unpunished. We have to ensure that punishment is meted to those criminals, who have organized as a gang and have committed such a heinous act. We have to restore and see that women, those who have suffered, are treated well. They are restored back to their sense of dignity. Because it's such a gory act, unprecedented in the history of independent India, that a mob has moved out and have created such a mayhem and have targeted women from a tribal community who are indigenous to the land of Manipur. This is unbelievable, incredible, and absolutely heinous, utterly condemnable. If the whole country doesn't awake today, when will the country awake? These people have to give an exemplary punishment as per law of the land. And I believe that, this is not mere emotion, it is an expression of reasonableness. We have to bring this culprit to book. This is what I want to say. Yeah.
So, Professor, this was pointed out by Mr. Dongal, and also it is now in the public knowledge that this was also a result of, a fake video which was circulated. How, what is worrying for people like us, and or I think everybody should be worried, is that I honestly don't think that this is going to be one-off incident, There could be many more incidents like this which has not come out in the open because of internet ban and all. I mean, is the state going to take a comprehensive, looking into a comprehensive way to deal with these kind of situations, sir? Or the response of the state is severely wanting, sir? There seems to be some sort of internet connection issue with Professor Prasenjit. We'll go to him the second we get connected to him. Hasina, you made a very interesting point. There have been certain videos also which has come out, and group of women are also kind of enticing the mob to to go out and teach the women a lesson and all. I mean, how horrifying can it be? Or how I just don't know what to call it. You know, I mean, a woman mob enticing the men to go ahead and, act or indulge in violent act against them. How, what kind of deep divide and distrust this display, Hasina?
I think this deep divide is so much to do with the law and order situation. And I think because the failure of law and order situation has given rise to more and more kind of complex situation where vulnerable communities, women and girls are going to be highly, highly vulnerable. I think it's unacceptable for women who watch and not protest at that moment. And today, I think the statement from the Manipur police that they have arrested the main accused, and they also form a several team, and they're taking charge of the situation. I'm still very, very, surprised that if today they can do the arrest, if today they are able to take this stand of the situation, the Manipur police, what happened on the 4th of May? It was also the police available there. I mean, forget that this went viral. When the situation happened, it happened in a state, in a district where the news flared very, very easily. The law enforcement could have not shut themselves and not knowing what has happened. And then the women folks who are there watching, I think they also need to be brought, they have to be taken into account. They cannot do this because
Absolutely.
I think that
Absolutely.
they cannot do this, for women. And it's like women against women out here, that women is participating on a patriarchal, kind of violence against women. And we are talking about women's right in general and protection of women's right.
And this is more unfortunate, Hasina, is because the women of Manipur have always been on a higher pedestal than many other region, because they have led from front, they have fought against many other stakeholders and all, and they have always been at the forefront. But them behaving like this is definitely not done. Professor Prasenjit Biswas is back with us. Sir, you heard my question which I asked her.
Sure.
The fact is that on 4th this happened, sir. The family was snatched away from the police. The FIR was lodged on 18th, and the main culprit was arrested yesterday because the video created a furor to which the government, both the central and the state, were not immune to. They realized the kind of damage it could do. What does this speak of the state, sir? That it took them, from 4th of May till this to act against and arrest the main perpetrator, sir?
I mean, it prima facie looks like a complete breakdown of the law and order mechanism. There is no absolving of the state at all, and state becomes indirectly complicit if state is not acted at the right moment. So no one can turn a blind eye to such a gory incident. And therefore, police in Manipur, the government in Manipur should have been much more alert that such a kind of a ethnically motivated acts of crime against women are happening all around. And that should have been prevented right in the first instance. Instead of that, there was complete chaos and disorder. And therefore, the state is not able to do anything with respect to that. And this is something that is not really acceptable by any standard. Forget about moral standard, by any legal standard, this can be accepted. Therefore, I would say that this is one of the goriest acts of human rights violation. As it happens during wartime, during genocide, the proportion of this kind of a public demonstration of a mass crime is unprecedented. And that it is recorded, that it is circulated in a very virile manner, that a lot of virile pleasure is generated out of it by the set of people who supported this crime, is actually totally debased humanity. It is total inhumanity that has arisen from such a gory act, and public demonstration, the virality of act. Of course, if it was not virile, it would have been known to us. Now the people who made it virile, large number of them wanted to send a message across, and the message is absolutely chilling, dehumanizing, that we can commit such an act in a country which is a democracy, which has an elected government, which has a massive police and other security forces, especially in Manipur, that such a thing can happen in the presence of such a huge security establishment is something unbelievable, something that totally shatters your confidence in humanity. And therefore, such an act where state government has delayed beyond any proportion for not bringing culprits to book. And now they are saying we have brought the culprits to book, but it is too late and too little done in such a situation when it is too late. Therefore, we remember Nirbhaya case.
Yes.
But Nirbhaya case was criminally motivated. But this is motivated by a different kind of a criminality, which includes a set of people having great hatred and in conscious mind, willfully, deliberately, they are committing such an act. And this is far beyond even ethnic hatred. This is total debased humanity. Something has gone totally wrong in the minds and the body and the being of these people that they can commit such an act. And that too, in a tribal state like Manipur, where indigenous people are there and they are unfortunately fighting so much today and no one is mediating. They are let loose on each other. And this is one such gory incident and evil incident that is followed from this. So strongest possible action has to be taken. So
absolutely. I completely agree with you, Professor, when you call it an act of debased humanity. I mean, couldn't agree more with it. Dr. Seram Brijesh, there are videos of in which women are egging men to act violent against the other women. There have been incidents, which have come out where a terrorist is being arrested by the army and the women forced the army to release that person. An army had to release a video detailing how it all happened. I mean, how exactly can this happen? And why is it being allowed?
Brijesh, in fact, I've already told that this actually act of crime is unacceptable. And yes, as I'm a Meitei and a responsible citizen of this country and every community, I'm actually joining with the strong condemnation. And that the state should take the hardest action against them. But I will also tell you some kind of other social other agencies. But in the case of Manipur, when such crime, rape are happen, then generally people don't go to the court. They actually used to publish in the newspaper and so that one of my diseases has happened. So they actually publish that, okay, those people who wanted justice, please kindly take action against the crime of crime. And after some time, what happened? The person who involved have been killed by unknown people. So even in the wartime, as a responsible person, every agency or women or any of the forces should take action, strict action against such kind of perpetrator, because it is not acceptable and we will not allow.
But Dr. Brijesh, shouldn't the community also be exorcising these kind of people who have participated in that act? People cheering as if they're bloody going to win they won a World Cup or something like that.
No, that is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In the state society like in Manipur, the women organization and other forces, state forces, even there was one cases that a rapist was actually arrested and jailed for around 7 years. But after 2 days of a release of the person rapist, he was killed by someone. I'm not actually provoking violence, but I'm saying that whoever is involved, or group or people, they should be punished. They should be boycotted from the society, from the community, and this should be the last kind of crime that should happen. That's what I'm saying, with a responsibility. And even in the Delhi community, also like the Delhi Meitei Forum, many of the groups are discussing from last one night that all of us are collectively saying that we should condemn this, and this is beyond the community, and this is the human being, and they are women, they are our sister, they are our one of a daughter. So we should condemn it. And again, when you are saying in one context that the women are forced the army to release the militant.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in that incident, when I actually get in touch with the community and other, On that incident, women did not force the army to release. There are some deliberate attempt by the security forces to delegitimize the Maira Paibi movement in Manipur. This is very unfortunate.